Okay, and good afternoon, everyone. And is my voice and also my screen, is that clear? Okay, and today it's an honor to have such a great chance to be with you. And this is Glenn Tan speaking, and it is an honor to have such a great chance to be with you. We'll talk about the PV GMV today. And if you have any question, you can record at which page, and at the end we have a Q&A time. Okay. So we will go to the course directly. And this is the introduction of the photovoltaic direct-driven GMV, short for PV GMV. And this presentation divided into these 5 parts. First is the product introduction. And this is the product lineup of all our PV products, including from the household use, the split tie, and the VRF, and also in the Middle East and the Africa, it is very popular, the rooftop unit. And we also have the PV centrifugal chiller, and also we have the cold storage. And today we just focus on this VRF, which is for the PV. And next I will introduce how it works and what we can use it. And maybe other manufacturers also claim that they also have the PV VRF, but actually they're just the regular VRF plus the PV panels. And they can also, just like this one, you can find it, this is the regular VRF, and also this is the converter. This is the PV panels. It can generate the DC power. So this DC power will offer to this regular VRF, but we need it converted from DC to AC. And the converter loss is about 6%. And also it can mix with the power from the GREE power supply. And what's the difference between the PV GMV and the regular VRF plus PV panels is this: we make this converter built-in into the VRF, just like this. We make this built-in into it, and at that time, the power from this PV panels, we can use this directly drive the inside components, including compressors and also the fans, which means we don't need the DC to AC convert, and this can save up to 6%. And as for this part, is the same. We can also mix the solar panel, the power, and also the power from the GREE power supply. And on the other hand, as we make this to be built in on the on-site construction, you can also lower the construction fee to combine the PV panels to the converter. And what you can do is this. First is pure AC working. That means you can consume the power 100% from the GREE power supply. And the next is you can consume 100% the power from the PV panels. You can see if you can find it. You consume the power from PV panels and then to this GMV. And the next is the mix. That means if the power from the PV panels is not that high, we need, and at that time we need to consume the power mixed these two, which is the power from the PV panels and power from the GREE power supply, to mix them together. And this is GREE, and it's all automatically, no need to set it. That means the system can, according to the power consumption situation, it can automatically select. And then next is the uploading to GREE. That means we can upload the power from the PV panels to the GREE power supply. And of course, this according to different area, this especially if the local government has a restriction on that, it is not available. And for this one, and first is the pure PV power generation. That means at that time, for example, this GMV is not working, and then we can upload this power 100% to the GREE power supply to earn some money. And the balance power uploading GREE, that means if from here the PV panels, the power generate too much, and we can not only offer to this PV GMV consumption, but also to upload to the GREE power supply. This can also earn the money. And this too is also automatically, which means once you select to upload it, and no need to change. And for the third mode is the PV storage integration. That means this device. You can find it. Besides upload, you can also transfer the power to this, what we call the energy storage unit. That is one of the transformer to lower the DC voltage. And this one is actually the battery. You can also buy from your local market. We don't require that for free. And after you stop the power to it, and here, if after sunset there's no power from these PV panels, we can use the power we stored here to offer to this PV GMV. And last is the PV ecology system. That means we can offer the power to the other home appliance, and also from this device, this converter. And of course, this require the engineering customized. This last is the off-grid PV system. Maybe on the islands. Maybe on the island, maybe you need to use this PV GMV. At that time, if the power is not that stable, and use this power generator to make it like this. And at that time, you can buy it. You can also offer the power consumption of this PV GMV. And this is the PV GMV5, the core technology, which is this 5. And for example, the PAWN interleaving technology, multi-converting technology, dynamic load tracking MPPT technology, and PV direct-driven technology, and also the power generation consumption management. Actually, the words is not that easy understanding. So from the how we use it, I will make it just like this. And for example, for this one, actually, it is, we make the power management visualized, which means we can, is it much easier or more convenient for you to do to analyze how much the power generate from the PV panels and how much power to consume of the air conditioning. And for this one, that means we just drive the compressor or the outdoor fan motor. The power is directly from the PV panels, there's no DC to AC converter. And for this one, we can higher the efficiency by 6 to 8%. And as for this three, and the purpose is just to lower the PV power fluctuation. Actually, you know that for the PV, if the PV and the power from the PV panels and also the power from the GREE power supply, we need to mix them together, and that is the need to change different modes, which means to change to different the power source. At that time, the type is we need to make it to be very little, which means not affect the compressor operation. And the next part is the PV equipment selection. And this is the side discharge. And here is the models, and it's from 12 to 16 kilowatt. And actually, the appearance is the same as the regular side discharge GMV. And what is different is this. You can also find this one on the service menu. This is the parameter about the PV. And as for the top discharge, we have currently the latest is the C series. This one is the C. For single outdoor unit is from 22.4 to 33.5 kilowatt. And also it can be modularized, which means we can put different outdoor units together to enlarge the capacity. The maximum can be up to 134 kilowatt. And actually, you can also find that the appearance is also the same as the regular top discharge GMV. What is different is there is a built-in converter, which is this one. This is to convert the power which either from the PV panels or from the GREE power supply. And also the difference between this PV GMV and the regular GMV is this. And this is about the PV information, and you can also check it from the user's menu. And later I will show you how to do the selection. And as for the indoor units, and actually this is completely the same as the regular GMV, which means for the regular GMV, we can connect it. For the PV GMV is also available. And this is the special measurement of the electricity central controller. The model is a C55, this one, and just compare with the regular CE52. The difference is just here. And also you can find it. One of this central controller can connect up to 16. This is also the same. And what is different is from here you can check the power generation and electricity centralized management, or the real-time display of the power consumption. And when you put it here, it will display this page. And from here, actually, you can also find out that here is, for example, the VIF power consumption of the daily and also total. And this is the PV generation from the PV panels. And here is the GREE power supply, the power you consume from the PV GREE power supply. And also there is 3 icons here. The first icon is to check the detail of this parameter. And the second one, which is here, is we make it to be a curve, and which is better for you to analyze the power consumption of this air conditioning. You can also find it is from the time, and also divide it into the power generation and power consumption. And the last is another curve for better analyze. This divides into the different type. And as for how to do the wiring, it's completely the same as the CE52, which is the regular centralized controller. And here, other side is the wiring on the CE55 on this one. And here is for the power supply L and N. And at the lower side, this is the GMV system, either for GMV5 or GMV6. Actually, it is the same. And from here, we need to connect to this one, which is the G1, G2 connect to here. And if there is only one system, from here you can either connect from the D1, D2 or the G1, G2 from here. D1, D2 or G1, G2 is okay for single system. But for multi-system, and also don't forget to use the matrix resistor, which is 120 ohm. Okay, this is just to ensure the communication can be successful. And as for the multi-system, just like this, and the wiring is the same as the regular GMV for the multi-system, only from the G1, G2, from the master outdoor unit. The G1, G2, we need to combine from here and then connect with the this G1, G2 terminal. And also here, F1, F2 is for you to connect with the fire alarm signal. And if there is a fire alarm, this device will shut down all the online indoor units, which is all the online systems. And the next is the storage, which is just a battery. And currently we have these two models. And the detail is this one. And actually, this one you can connect to the G-IEMS system. This later I will introduce, and which can adjust the electricity for the price at peak hours. That means you can also find on this application scenarios, which means during one day, if the electricity fee is different, for example, at daytime the fee is high, but at night time the fee is lower. So we can use this battery to make it to balance. And next is discharge in low or there's no PV condition. That means just like after sunset, there's no PV power from the PV panels. So at that time, you can use the power which is stored at this battery at night time. And next, I will introduce the G-IEMS system. And first, this is the topology, and you can find it. And this is system, and this is the PV GMV, which is connected with the PV panels. And from here, also the G1, G2, you need to connect to this gateway. And the gateway, the model is this one. And also at that time, we need a DC meter. This is to measure the power consumed from the PV panels, and also AC meter. This is the we need to measure the power to whether we get it from the grid power supply and also how much we offer to the PV power supply. It is a bi-curve partner. And then all connect to this gateway. At this gate, after that, we need to connect from this Ethernet cable to the server, then to the PC. So the wiring is just like this. And what you can do is here is you can check from the PC. This is the browser. You can check and manage the PV power generation and consumption, and also do the data analysis. Could you please mute your microphone, please? Hello, could you do me a favor to mute your microphone, please? If you have any question, you can just feel free to interrupt me and ask your question, okay? And the last is do the energy management. And you can also go to check it on the schedule and energy trading. And this GREE system is available to check it from the PC or from your smartphones. Okay. All these functions, they are engineering customized. And this is the example when we do it on the NIA project. It's in Dubai, and this is the website. You can check it from the browser, and from this one, you can put your project introduction, including the pictures and the words. And from here, you can find it. This is the curve or the PV system. And how much power we consume and how much power we get from the solar, how much we offer to the grid power supply, we can also display here. And also we make it to CO2 emission, just like this, for your better analysis. And on the other hand, you can also check the air conditioner, how it operates, just like this. And you can find it on this page. You can check all the online indoor units, how it operates, whether it is turned on or what is the operating mode, fan speed. And also you can click on the indoor. This, for example, you click on this indoor unit, you can also change the operating parameter. And the next part is to explain how to design. First is the solar power analyzer, and which is to check the power with the solar power. What is the parameter on your local? And there are two ways. First is from the NASA website. And the next is from the software of this PV, from this software, sorry. And from this one, you can get the average solar power on your local And the next is to select the PV panels. You can also buy from the local market. It is okay, and you can also choose from our GREE. This is the 3 types of our GREE. We can provide this to you, and also you can find it. The size is almost the same. The difference is the max efficiency, and also the power output. They are different. After you select the PV panels, the most important is this parameter. We need to do the calculation for the system based on this parameter. The important is this. First is the P max, rated maximum power. And then the next is this 4. You need to require the PV panel manufacturer to offer you this 5.
الو اعطيتك الساعة مش 10 دقايق. يخلف عليك.
شو؟
يخلف عليك. استنى خليك معي بس.
And the next is
أنا بعثت لك إياه على الواتساب صح؟
configuration of the PV panels. First is to just like this one. You can find it on the right side. This is the
خليني بفتح الواتساب بس.
solar
لا
panel,
خلص بس
the
بدي
PV
إياه أكيد أنا
GMV, and you need to connect with the PV panels just like this, and you can find it. For this
أرجع لك بس بدي
example,
أقسمهم كل
there
واحد.
are 2 strings.
في
And
12 كيبل.
first, we need to calculate how many panels for one string. And the formula is this one. And actually, the inside the parameter is a little bit difficult, and we just make this Excel file for you to do the quick calculation. This is just for your reference to know how much or how many PV panels you need to prepare. At that time, you will know that whether it is enough for these PV panels. And after that, we need to calculate how many strings for this outdoor unit. And the formula is just this. And actually, I'll show you in a detailed example. That will be much more easier for understand. And what you can get is this S. This means the strings quantity, which means a higher this value, you can save more power. And this is the Excel files when you open from this one. And from here, and for example, you just select this PV panels. And remember these 5 parameters, they are all belong to these PV panels, which means you need to ask your PV panel manufacturer to get this 5 parameter. And this one is the parameter you need to input from the outdoor unit. So for example, at this time you select this one, this outdoor unit, and on the service menu you can get this table, and just input this 3 into here. And after that, this is the local temperature of the minute and max temperature in the daytime. And after that, the system or the file can calculate the result automatically. And for example, you just input this one, it will get one string. There it is 11 panels. And after that, you know that for one string there must be 11 panels, and you would like to know how many strings. At that time, to follow the from this one, that means this is the how many strings, and this is the power. Which one you can get it from here. The max DC input power from this example, it is 5. And the next is the PS, that means the how much power for one string. So you can get this is the N is here is the 11, and this WP is this one, the max DC power output. You get it from these PV panels. So you can get this 1.75, which we need to run down, which is only 1. That means for this model, the maximum you can connect only one string, and for one string you can connect up to 11 panels. And how about for the total discharge? Well, for example, this time this PV panels is not changed, but we just change the outer unit to be this one. And also this parameter you can also get from the service menu. and also input this 3, which is from here, and also here is no change, so you can get this one. For one string, you need to there are 22 panels, and how many strings is from this formula. And for this one, we can get the max PV input is 24 kilowatt, and for this formula, we can get it is only 3. That means for this model in your local, there are 3 strings of the PV panels, and each string there are 22 PV panels. So I just make summarize for your reference, and if you just select this one, and you need to prepare up to 66 pieces of the PV panels. If you select this 16 kilowatt, only 11 is okay. And as for the PV panels lifespan, and here is just for your reference, it is about 30 years, and less than 20%. And next is the wire connection. For this one, this part is about how to install or where to install the PV panels. And currently there are 3 modes for it, which is the best angle lighting is installed at the rooftop, just like this. And the next is the flat install. You can just like install at top of the, for example, the factory. Or the just like this is installed at the garage tile roof. And this pictures display the before and after we install the PV panels. And for LV square, and here is the PV power for your reference. And from here, you know that if you just have this size of the rooftop, for example, PV output is you can also get it. And the next is to combine these PV panels together, and we just use this MC4 bus connection, and it's just like this one, which is to connect the minus and plus, just like this, of LV panels together. And for one string, after you connect it, you need to check the open circuit voltage with the multimeter. It should be at this range. And also, if you have multi strings, and the voltage difference between these 2 strings should be less than 10 volt. And next is if the cable is longer than 20 meters, we need to consider the cable resistance. And the last but not least is you need to periodically clean the PV panels of service to ensure the PV efficiency, because you know that if the service accumulated lots of the dust, and this will just damage the PV efficiency. And next is how to do the wiring from the PV to the GMV, and also from the GREE power supply to the PV GMV. Currently, we need to, after this is the combined box, it's only for the top discharge A series. As it is for that series, we need to combine the PV panels and to this combined box, and then connect to this converter. And the purpose of this one is just to avoid the lining damage. And also the same for this AC distribution cabinet. And the purpose of this one is also to avoid the lining damage, If you have already fixed the lining damage, you can just make it to be a circuit breaker. It's also okay. And next is how to do the wiring to the GMV outdoor unit. And first is from the PV panels, you need to pay attention to the positive and negative and don't make mistake. And then to check the isolation resistance with the mega meter before lie down the cables. And also when you install on site, just pay attention to protect the cable. And here is the wiring interference, and here is to connect to the AC power, which is from the GREE power supply, and this is for the communication wire to the indoor unit D1, D2. And for the PV panels, the DC power, you need to connect from here. You can also find it. This is the NC4 fast connection. And this is for the side discharge. And as for the torque discharge, for the requirements for the cables is the same. And here is you need to put the DC power directly connect into this. This one is the converter, built-in converter. And here is the AC power supply for the GREE. And here is the bottom wheel, the DC power, which is connected to this wheel. Connect here. As for the AC power, get through here and connect to the terminals. And next is the commissioning. And for the PV GMV, we require additional commissioning, which is especially for the torque discharge. And you need to do this before you go into the commissioning, the regular commissioning, which is just follow these steps. First is to power on the indoor units and outdoor units. And from the master outdoor unit, you need to set the QP, which is to set the certification of different area. And next is the QU to set the GREE power supply the parameter, and the QN to set whether you need to upload or not upload the abundant power. And after that is the regular commissioning steps. It is the same as the regular GMV. And also for the side discharge, this can be done just after the commissioning. QP, you can also find here. This is the certificate selection for different area. This standard also different. And the QU is to select the 3-phases power supply. What's the wattage and also the frequency. As for the QN, this is for whether you need to upload or not upload the power. And after this setting, you need is the same. After that is the same to the regular GMV, which is from the step 1 to step 15 to finish the commissioning, and then you can use the PV GMV. As for the commissioning methods, it's completely the same, which you can do it from the outdoor PCB or from the debugging software, which is from your computer, or from the portable debugger. But this setting is only can be done on the outdoor PCB, which is on this one. And the last part is the investment analysis. And this is the difference between the torque discharge of the A series and C series. Actually, for the A series, it cannot upload, and also it cannot connect to the battery, and also there is no combined box of it, and the next PV input is only 12.5 kilowatt. But for the C series, yes, it can connect to the battery, or it can also upload to the grid power supply, and it is a built-in combined box. And the last is next PV input, it can be up to 24 kilowatt. And here is two brands. The difference is the brand A is a regular VRF. This model is this one, and this is the PV panels. Brand A and brand B is completely the same. And so for the brand A, there you need a combined box or a converter to convert the power from DC to AC, and then we can offer this AC to the grid power supply, to the PV, to this regular VRF. So from the initial investment, you can buy it, and this is the price for the outdoor unit. And as for the PV panels, as the power is the same, so the price is the same. But for this one, you need a converter. And this is the additional cost. That means you need to combine the PV panels to the converter, and then from the converter to the regular VRF. But for the plan B, for the PV GMV, there is no such cost. So from here, we can get for the initial investment, there is we can lower about 3%. Then from operation analyze, and this is the from for 1 year divided. This is from the different months and different for 1 year, and the PV efficiency. That means for the brand A, there is a converter, and brand B is a PV GMV. So for this one, we can get about 6%. The convert loss is about 6%. So for brand B, we can have this 6% higher, and for this one, we can get more power. And here is for the total consumption from the PV. And for 30 years, just after 30 years, we can also find it. Here is the total power generation of the PV. So we make it to the average of this 30 years. You can also find it, and it's about this value is higher. So we can also find this power. And last is total investment. Here is the summary. And of course, this is for all this combination is no subsidized. And from the first is the PV panels. It is the same, and the average for brand B, there are 6% higher from the PV efficiency. And the last is the profit we can get from the PV power, and which is for this one, and get for every year we can the profit is this value, and the payback time for the brand B we can get 4 months early. and also for different area, which means the electricity fee of this value is different. And generally speaking, the higher of this one, we can higher the profit. And that's all for the PV GMV introduction. Here is the Q&A time. I already upload the training presentation on the chat window. You can also download from it and read it on your own computer.